Homecoming continues here at Colorado State University. It revolves around the football game on Saturday, but the Colorado State volleyball squad returns from a long home stretch as well. Head coach Tom Hilbert's joining me here. I'm Matthew Wozniak. Now, first of all, you had 2 wins in the week prior. Now, maybe your greatest road challenge as you were on the road at defending champion Boise State. Let's start with that match. It didn't start out the way you wanted, did it?
No, it didn't. I mean, Boise played well, and we had serve-receive issues and kind of got into our heads a little bit. I thought we rallied toward the end of the first set. We still end up losing that one. And then, man, took a huge hit in the second set. We're down big. A bigger deficit than I can remember coaching in the last 5 years, I think. So, you know, we called a timeout. I tried to bring a little humor to the situation, and we went into the locker room down 2-0, but knowing, you know exactly what you have to do in those situations. We had to serve receive better. We had to play better in our out-of-system game, and we made a rotational adjustment, which helped us. And then the minute we started playing a little better, I think we knocked Boise back a little bit on their heels. They weren't expecting us to be good in the third set, and next thing you know, the entire complexion of the match has changed.
Yeah, and you had experience with this as well, because you were down 2 sets in a match against TCU earlier in the season. Did you dwell on that? Did you come back and say, here are some of the lessons we learned from that we can apply here?
We certainly did. I mentioned it, and then the team mentioned it.
Okay.
I think when they're breaking their huddles, they're talking about TCU, you know. So, you know, you draw from those experiences, and then now we've created a new experience we can draw from in the future.
This is also perhaps where Colorado State's experience comes into play as well, because you can't make up 3 sets in set number 3. You have to be patient. You have to take it one step at a time. Did you see that leadership and that patience emerge from your squad, knowing they can't win it there?
Absolutely did, and the face of that patience was Katie Oleksak and Jasmine Hanna. Jasmine Hanna, after the first 2 sets, she didn't have a hitting error or a block for 6 sets. She didn't even have any in against Utah State. So she just changed her game. And then Katie was much more composed, which makes everybody more composed. So, yeah, Katie and Jasmine were the face of patience and composure.
Yeah, and on the court, the execution for Colorado State that brought them back was the block. The block started coming out in sets 4 and 5. Was that because maybe you'd seen them more? They had thrown a few things at you. You knew that Sierra Nobley was making her first appearance after being out. So the best player in the league by far, I think, at this point, as well as last year. So were you able to make those adjustments, and then the block was more effective?
Yeah, we did. And you know, we blocked her effectively, especially at critical times. We still had a hard time handling Wally, Janelle Wally, but we did a good job on both their outside hitters, and their middles were really not a factor.
Colorado State makes the comeback, wins in 5 on the road at Boise, a huge victory. Then you worry about a letdown because it doesn't stop. You have to go down to a very talented Utah State squad down in Logan. You got the sweep, but it had some tenuous moments. You got out to a great start, though.
We did get a great start, and we, you know, they hung with us. We kept playing solidly, didn't give up a bunch of point runs. We scored some runs at the end of set 1, the end of set 2, so we're up 2-0. Then they come out in the third set, and they really competed well. Their offense was clicking. There were like 9 ties and 7 lead changes or something, and they're ahead 24-22. And then 2 of our freshmen just sort of take over with, you know, Maddie Fouts is serving and Brianna Reynolds blocking and hitting. It was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, what continued from the Boise State conclusion was all the way through that Utah State match. Again, it was your block. It's continuing to blossom, continuing to get better. Is this just part of the general growth pattern that you were expecting your squad to have this year?
I hope so. I mean, you know, we asked our team earlier in the year to get better defensively. They did. We asked them to get better service receive from last spring to this fall. They did. Now we're asking them to be a better blocking team. It's starting to happen. So, you know, they're responding. They're responding to coaching. They're responding to urgency, and that's what you want.
Do you worry a little bit, and this is my final question for you here, you got a 2-match lead in the race for the championship so far, including big victories out on the road. Do you fight complacency at this point a little bit?
Well, if they get complacent, they're fighting me then. So I'm the one that now becomes the bear.
There you go.
Because it's like, look, we have a standard to play to. It doesn't matter who the opponents are or what the gap is in how much we lead the conference. We got to go play every night because we're looking for something bigger. We want to win the conference, but we want to make a run, and you don't do that by playing complacent.
Yep, Colorado State does a fantastic job on the road. Now it's back home here at homecoming. Got a match on Thursday against San Jose State, and then on Saturday, noon against Nevada on homecoming day. An opportunity for you to start your tailgate off right. Come here to Mob Arena. Before we go, that match on Thursday, Jasmine Hanna 6 kills away from breaking the all-time lead. I know that you want to see a big crowd to witness history.
I want you to come in and watch it because it's a big deal. Modern scoring format. She'll be the all-time kill leader. We still have several matches left. But it's great for Jasmine. She has been a stalwart for this team, and I want people to be there, show her support.
Yep, a chance to witness history on Thursday and a chance to kick your homecoming celebrations off right. Coach, thanks.
You bet.
Well, that'll do it for us here at Ram Vision. If you can't make it to the match on Thursday or Saturday, don't forget you can catch all the action at csurams.com. See you next week, folks.